the name of your Tory panellist, please?
Andrea Jenkins.
Right, I'd like, Andrea, for you to listen to this particularly. We currently have a corrupt government. We have a completely morally vacuous, corrupt liar at the top. When a person in everyday life commits an act of fraud, they generally end up going to prison. If you're a minister and you create fraud, you get an inquiry and lessons must be learned. Is it not about time that politicians and ministers are subject to criminal proceedings to help them stay on the straight and narrow?
Wow.
I take it, Simon, Andrea, you don't vote Conservative.
I would never. Unless you bring in universal basic income, I would never vote for you.
Oh, okay. I mean, clearly, you're not a supporter of a Conservative, and I guess whichever Conservatives at the helm, you'd use the same rhetoric that they are corrupt, liars, etc. I mean, I disagree. I mean, I think we've got a good leader. I mean, we got a massive majority in 2019, so a lot of the public have got different views to what you've got there. We've gone through a difficult time globally, and the way we've supported people, the furlough, and really trying to protect people. I'm actually proud of our government, so we'll have to agree to differ on this. Clearly, we're never going to agree.
Were you proud of your government when it awarded contracts to its crony mates in the pandemic? I mean, that's what Simon's talking about here, I guess.
Yes. I mean, I'd not party to actually the decisions, what sort of made with awarding contracts. I mean, I know, for example, with the Dyson situation, they had to act quickly, and Dyson, set a team of people, it costed Dyson themselves to support through the pandemic. Now, I don't believe in cronyism. No, of course I don't. And I do think that whichever parties in government, they've got to be mindful that there's a checks and balances. And I mean, this is one reason I'm a Brexiteer, because I believe in transparency, that you can check with their MP every penny that's spent. So, but I do think, no doubt, tough decisions had to be made during this pandemic. That is the problem, that there were contracts awarded, and we've seen enough detail to know that this happened, to people who were linked in some way to people in Downing Street or close to ministers. Now, one, you can think, okay, well, that's a coincidence. Two, you might think that's a bit of a coincidence. But when it gets to the number that have been reported, it's surely more than a coincidence, Andrea. I mean, to me, I don't care who contracts get awarded to, but I'll tell you the caveat: as long as it's a fair system where it's the best person, the best company for the job, who's the best value for taxpayers' money. As I said, I haven't been involved in this kind of process, so I haven't seen the fine print of the checks and balances on each of these contracts awarded. But I would want to see complete transparency and a fair system.
Okay.
Of course I would.